Hello, welcome to the Mouth of Truth, the monthly live stream from behind the scenes of Ren, the Girl with a Mark. I'm Neil Oseman, showrunner. I'm all on my own today, but I am bringing you the latest production updates from season 2 of Ren, the Girl with a Mark, and chatting to our very special guest tonight, Oriana Charles, who plays Ren. But first of all, production update. So what have we been doing since I was last with you? Well, we are deep into post-production on season 2 now. We have been doing ADR, additional dialogue recording. We had a great day a few weeks ago where Oriana and Alex came up to Cambridgeshire and spent the day in Dale's studio in Wellingham, re-recording some of their dialogue. Some of it you do for technical reasons because there's background noise. We actually had a concert going on in the next field when we were doing one very quiet dialogue scene, so we had to redo all the sound for that, and they have to get the lip sync right and the same emotion. And maybe we'll talk to Ori a little bit about that later on. And sometimes you add extra lines of dialogue because you realize when you're editing that the script doesn't entirely explain things as well as you thought it did, so you need to add another little line in here just to clarify what's going on. So that's what ADR is. That was our big thing that we did a few weeks ago. What else have we been up to? The edits are now locked, so we're not tinkering with shots anymore, with scenes, with structure. That's all done. Visual effects are a big thing. As I think I said last time, we've got 112 visual effects shots in the season, up from about 70 or 80, I think, in season 1. So getting through those is a big part of the work. We've got around about 8 different people working on different types of shots, doing digital map painting, sort of creating extensions of the environment, creating Tarek's mill, doing a set extension here, or generating Ren's powers through particle effects and glows and things like that. I've spent a lot of time with blue screen shots, making a fake horse look like it's really traveling through a forest. We'll talk to Ori in a sec about the fun of actually shooting some of that stuff, perhaps. So visual effects, yeah, big thing that's going on at the moment. And then, very excitingly, a couple of weeks ago, we had our very first writer's room for season 3. So I wrote a draft of season 3 back in 2020 during, I think, the second lockdown, not long after I wrote my version of season 2. And it's kind of been there in the background as a guide to where we're going as we made season 2. But now, of course, we want to shoot season 3 next year, so we've really got to focus in on what's working in the script and what isn't, honing that, refining that. So myself, Kate, and the 2 Ashes spent a day talking through what some of the areas for improvement are. There's a big whiteboard that you can't see off camera over there that we scribbled lots of notes on, tried to break down how we might restructure it, reorder it, get the most out of the characters, the situations, and talked a lot about, you know, where the season is going, what the goal of the season is, what the character arcs, and where we might be going in the seasons after that. Even it's an ongoing process making a series. Very exciting to be sort of wrapping up one season but then kicking off another at the same time. So that's what we're up to at the moment. Hello to everyone who's joined us in the chat. Thanks as always for following us here on the Mouth of Truth. Hello to Rim, to Eva Marie, Selena, Mette, Kate, and the other Kate, and Helen. Is that Danad Garuk? Hello. Thanks for joining us so much. If you have any questions for me or for Ori, please pop them there in the chat and we will ask those as we go along. But I think now it's high time to bring in our very special guest for this evening, Oriana Charles. Hello, Oriana.
Hello. Hi.
How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, not bad, thanks. Not bad. All good here at Ren HQ. Cool. Have you been busy lately?
This is the quiet and down part of the year, the lead up to Christmas. So more back to the normal day job rather than acting bits on at the minute, which is weirdly nice. Quite
Yeah.
refreshing, yeah.
Cool. It's the time of year when, people don't really want to go outside filming very much, do they? It's all dark and cold. And
Please don't make me film outside in this, Neil.
yeah, I know. I did a feature film at this time of year last year, and the snow and
I
constantly.
bet it looked beautiful, but
Well, yeah, it did. Yeah, but there was always a rush at 4 o'clock in the afternoon as well. Yeah, we're losing the light. We're losing
it's
the light.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a great time of year for filming. Oh yeah. So wondering who that was, Eva Marie.
That was me.
Right. Okay. Someone's hearing the sound of Kate opening her Coke can in the background of the camera.
I did hear that as well. I
Amazing.
thought it was you.
yeah, just cracking open a tinny on the screen. Brilliant. Right, let's dive into the questions. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning and ask you how you actually got into acting, Ori.
Oh, this is a nice question. I think if you were to ask probably my mum that question, she would say that I was just born that way. Yeah, it's probably the most annoying kid ever, just very excitable. But I have a vivid memory in my head of me and my sister there's a home video of me and my sister doing our version of Peter Pan, where all of our teddies play all the other characters, and she's Peter Pan and I'm Wendy doing lots of cartwheels because that's what Wendy does. And when I look back at that, I think I've always wondered where did my love for acting come from, because I never felt like I chose it. It just was something I wanted to do. Didn't ever question it really. But when I watched that, I'm like, that's where that was it. But yeah, I just love doing it. And throughout school, my parents were brilliant and really supportive. They let me go to things like theatre schools at the weekends. And then when it came to uni, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I applied to 3 universities for film editing because I really loved media and I really love film editing. And I applied to 2 drama schools, and I was just like, let's just see if I get in. And I got into one of them, so I thought, okay, let's go for this, and haven't looked back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, great to hear that you started off with home videos. That's basically how I started out filmmaking as well, borrowing a camcorder and just, I'm sure they'd be hilarious now to look back at some of those old
I would like to see them, Neil. I think you should release a series.
Yeah. Well, I won't go into it now, but I've made this whole Quantum Leap series. If anyone out there knows Quantum Leap, I made my own version of that, about 20 episodes when I was 15 or 16, me and my mate Dave. We used to make...
So you're just gonna send that to me?
One of them is on YouTube, actually. You can find
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, we used to make props out of Lego and cardboard boxes and things. And
that's kind of where it all begins, though, isn't it? When you have your imagination at its fullest when you're young, and then if you hold on to it, you can be. Yeah, you've got to hold on to it.
Yeah. It's so important. So, moving on to Ren, the audition was a whole process. How was that for you?
It was really nice. It was. I found auditions actually recently quite hard since lockdown. They're all self-tapes, and I feel like sometimes you don't get a real chance to show anything. They only get to see this one take, and then they might not give you a chance to get redirected or anything. But because we had such an in-depth audition process where we had the first one, which was a self-tape, and then we got to meet you, ask some questions, try out a little bit of the character a bit more, then work with the other actors was the next stage, and then the fight call was the stage after that. So I felt my confidence with the character grow a little bit, even just through the auditions, even before we got to starting. So I think it was really useful because it meant that we could also, me and Alex have talked about it quite a bit, just ask you guys questions, the panel, because we had Kate there and we had you there, Neil. It was really helpful to be able to say, am I doing this right? What would you think? And what's the backstory of this bit here? And yeah, it was great. I felt like I was entering the project really knowing a bit already.
Great.
Mm.
And I guess you'd watched season 1, or some of season 1 at least by that point.
So many times, yeah. I'd watched it quite a few times, partially because of the history and stuff, and I wasn't always sure about the lore, and I wanted to get everything as right as possible, even though I kept saying Knath wrong for a very long time. For a very long time.
Well, I think Nick says Carnath at least once in season 1, so
we blame Nick. Yeah, I needed to watch it a lot just to get like the little gists of Ren, and also to understand the relationships with the people she had around her, and just the actual world that they're in as well.
Yeah. Kate's in the chat there saying, I do love doing in-depth auditions.
Yeah, I like it's much nicer. It feels like the people you're working with really want you to succeed as well, because sometimes it feels like you send off a little self-tape and then you don't even hear anything back. So yeah, to have such an in-depth one, it felt like you guys really cared about it. You cared about us, and then it made us want to do our best.
Oh, fantastic. So people are going to want to know, how is your interpretation of Ren different to Sophie Skelson's?
The difference is, I don't know how to answer this question. Ren maybe the character herself is the same, but it's very hard because Sophie's Ren is in a very different place from where series 2 Ren goes. So I do think a lot of the changes in Ren are because she's just forced to change. There was no conscious differences from me. I tried to be as honest with the character of Ren as possible, but you'll see some of my own little, I guess, traits in the character. But yeah, I think she naturally changes. She naturally changes in the second series because so much happens at the end of the first one that she just has to become someone else a little bit.
So, well, we don't want to give any spoilers, but any sort of hints about the sort of stuff that she goes through in season 2?
Without spoilers, well, you've all seen that she's met Hunter. So she's met Hunter. They're about to go off on a journey together. Without spoilers, I guess you know that. Can I mention? I heard you mention it earlier, Neil, about some powers, some possible powers Ren might have. Yes, I guess you get to the journey with her finding her new self and her new skills as well is quite fun to see in series 2.
And when we dived into filming, we were talking to Alex a bit about this when he was on the Mouth of Truth a couple of months ago. You had an interesting first few days because you had doubles playing Ren and Hunter to start with on the horses.
Yeah.
And then you had quite a few scenes in that first week where you were sort of acting to nothing because, it was Kate saying, oh, you look over here and there's meant to be this happening or that happening.
Yeah.
And then a whole day on a fake horse on a blue screen. What was that like?
Well, it broke the ice for sure. We immediately, you're immediately thrown into, we have to just not care what anyone thinks. With green screen, I think that's the main thing that I found, is you just have to pretend that no one's watching. Don't worry about how silly it looks, because it's going to look ridiculous at some points. And also because I didn't know everyone that well. Going straight in with some of the more unusual stuff, like riding the phony pony. So I didn't know Alex that well yet, and we had to spend, was it 1 day or 2 days? I can't remember.
It was only 1 day.
It was like 2. We had to spend the whole day on this giant tire fake horse and getting rocked back and forth. So it broke the ice. It meant that the whole day, I remember lots of laughter. I remember lots of laughter with the green screen days. And I remember a lot of bits with, again, I don't know if I can say things, Knath riding the horses.
Yeah.
their helmets just falling down
Yeah.
constantly, like over their eyes.
Mm.
There was just so much. It made it easier to go to get to know everyone, because you're already laughing, you're already knowing that you're going to have to look silly, so it broke down any sort of barriers, and you just had to sort of go for it. But it was probably one of the best ways to start. But I heard you mention the festival night, which was also part of the that was part of the first week as well.
Yeah, it was.
Where we had the festival night, and that was also a really funny night. And I thought, it, even though it was a very surreal, strange night, it did bring sort of everyone together, because we were like, we know we can't use any of this sound. We've got to carry on as a team. We will get through this. And it was nice, even though it was just, it might have been like awkward at times. Like we didn't know if, like, we'd start speaking and then a song would play, so we'd just stop. It was sometimes awkward, but that's what made it so funny. And yeah, it made me really enjoy the night in the end.
You guys did a really good job as well, because it was, you know, tonally the scene is not not a funny scene. It's, you know, it's quite a quiet, sad scene, really. And that must have been so off-putting.
It was strange. It was strange because the music was just, maybe if it was sad music it would help, but it never was. No. I remember Friends coming on. Yep. And everyone sort of tensed when it got to the clap bit, because no one wanted to do the clap because we were rolling, but everyone wanted to do the clap at the same time. You could just sense it. Everyone was like, don't.
Yeah, that was quite a night. Then I think the second week we went off to Gosport, to the Little Woodham 17th century village in Hampshire. And that was a highlight, I think, that day there, wasn't it?
Oh, I really liked just being there was amazing. I didn't know places like that really existed, like a little medieval kind of village. It was amazing. It was really cool there. I'd never been to Gosport either.
Yeah, it was a lovely little place, and the bluebells had just come out, and I think it was one of the first days of nice weather we had that spring as well. So it's like,
the main thing I remember about that day is not having Alex's costume.
Yeah, there was that.
That was that. The main thing I remember is everything was normal, and then suddenly everything got very stressful. Everyone was like, "Where's his costume?" It was back in Cambridge. That's where it was.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. I can't remember who it was that sort of sidled up to me and
said it was them.
And said, well, I just said it was missing to start with, and then it was like, okay, search through literally everything we brought. Is it hiding somewhere in a different box? But no, fortunately, the day was saved by Anna, one of our costume department, who was not on set that day. So she was at her day job back in Cambridgeshire and was able to say to her boss, "Can I leave early? Go to the studio, pick up the costume, and then drive it straight 3 hours or something down to Gosport." And we didn't, we made the day. I think when we finished that day on schedule, having got everything we wanted and even a little bit more, even after that hiccup. Yeah,
we got the extra shots as well in at the end.
Yeah, we did.
We should always forget costume.
Focuses the mind, perhaps.
The panic.
Yeah. I that day was a real turning point for me, because I thought, wow, if we can get through that, still finish on time, we can get through anything as a team.
It's true.
What was your favourite location trip?
My favourite location. I will go with Wales, but we had a few different locations in Wales. But I'd say it was the day that we did loads we did a lot of shots with drones, and we were just running over the hills and stuff, and it was so beautiful there. It was stunning, and being just up high and you could just see everything. It was so sunny, and I think all of us expected it to be freezing that day, and it was beautiful. But I have a really funny video of us all trying to walk up to that spot, and realizing how steep it is, and everyone's got the camera equipment and all the stuff. And I pan past Richard, and he's like, whose clever idea was it to come up this way? And then I pan that way, and Alex is like, someone carry me. It's just like the perfect video. Everyone was just giving up, but it was, once we got to the top, we were like, wow, this was worth it. The journey up was rough. The journey down was very fun, because we could just sort of like run down it. It was much nicer.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a location called Morlais, near Merthyr Tydfil in South Wales. And yeah, there's a sort of ruined castle at the top of a hill there. And yeah, that was a really nice day, because we'd just come off several night shoots, big sequence, and that was a bit more of a laid back day, apart from the hill climbing, I think.
Just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, get your exercise out of the way in the morning, and then rest of it was nice and easy.
Yeah. So we've got a question in the chat here from Kate Sykes. She asks, have you worked on a series before?
I've not to this extent, as in being so such a big character in it. I've done really small parts in a couple of other series, but you probably wouldn't have even noticed me in them. I was in one called Ragdoll, which was like a crime thing, which was really fun, because I had to have a stunt double for that as well, which is always cool when you have a stunt double. And then I did a really small role in a series called Extraordinary, which is on Disney Plus, where everyone's got superpowers. But sadly, I never found out what my superpower was. I never knew. Yeah, I didn't. I was just one of, because I was such a small character, you didn't know what your superpower was. So I just would constantly be thinking all day, like, maybe that could be my superpower while we were filming. Maybe that. But yeah, I haven't really done much series stuff. I love it though. It does give you the chance to really go into depth with the character a lot more. You get to spend a lot more time in their skin. It was really enjoyable. I'd definitely do more series work if the offer was there.
Cool. What was the most challenging scene to shoot for you on Ren?
There was one in particular that was emotionally challenging, but I think that would involve some spoilers, so I'm gonna keep that one out.
Which one you mean? Yeah,
I'll keep that one out. But I think the hardest to actually film, it might have been that concert night, but that's mainly because it was our first night shoot, so I hadn't prepared for how cold it was going to be, or I just wasn't ready for it. And I think I'd been working at points on and off during the day, so I just remember being so tired, and we were trying to do it, and I think me and Alex went a little bit delirious at one point. And I just remember, like, there was nothing funny, but you were just giggling, and I couldn't stop. I was like, please someone help, this is meant to be a saddish scene. But you guys were great. All of you guys on set were giving us hot water bottles, and I'd look up and there'd be like Suzanne or Lucy with a blanket or something for me, just saving the day.
Yeah. Good old Suzanne.
Always to my rescue.
Yeah.
Except for that day when we were going up the hill. I think she nearly killed me because I kept singing Kate Bush running up the hill, and she didn't like that after a while. Didn't like that at all.
Oh, who doesn't like Kate Bush?
I
know. So yeah, you mentioned that scene again. Let's talk a little bit about the ADR for it. What was it like, having to re-voice that afterwards?
The ADR for that one I think that was probably the hardest one, because the other ADR was more maybe the odd word here and there or the odd line, but that scene was mostly all of the scene. I think it was most of the scene. And weirdly, matching the words right is fine. It's the breaths that I found hardest, or if maybe you didn't say a word, like maybe you started the word and then stopped, so you maybe went I that little iter is the hardest bit to get right, and it was like you started getting a little bit annoyed at yourself, like, why did I do that? Why did I say it like that? So those bits were the breathing and stuff like that, because it was an emotional scene. The breaths were the hard parts, I think, with that. But I think we got there by the end. Like, after you've done it quite a few times, you get the rhythm of it and you can match it quite well.
Yeah, you did a good job, and you had all your fight effort to do as well.
I saw that video. Who? I think it was Kate. The video of me doing the fight noises. But that was fun, though. That was fun. At first, I was like, oh, I don't really know what to do. And then I was like, well, I guess you can do anything, because some of the bits of the fight aren't actually you, so you can just try it out.
Yeah.
Make some sound effects.
Yeah.
Very weird sound effects.
Yeah. It's always a bit weird doing that stuff, but it's so useful in the edit.
Yeah. I guess you can, because you can use them from anywhere, can't you? And put them anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I've got a couple more things coming in the chat here. Kate Sykes says, "How dare she not like Kate Bush? I was named after her." Amazing.
Oh, no way!
That's pretty
Hi,
cool.
Kate. Keep running up that hill.
Yay. Eva Marie, who you probably met, she was one of the extras in the market. We had a whole backstory. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we have the end of that conversation where you're asking her character, and yeah. I won't say what you're asking her, but anyway, Eva asks, do you have any dream role or dream project you would love to do at one point, or was Ren already it?
Ren was really high up on the dream project, doing a fantasy series where I've got magic powers. That was up there with the fight scenes and stuff. It's really, really, it's like a dream role for me. It was one of the reasons why I applied, because I was just like, oh, this is everything that I've ever wanted. If I had to pick a dream role for me, just in acting in general, I'd really love to play like a good villain at some point, because I think I always get cast as like the I'm not sure, not really like the hero, but the young, sweet kind of character. I'd love to play a villain. Maybe a little bit Joker-esque, like Joaquin Phoenix Joker kind of villain. I'd like that if anyone wants to write that and cast me in it. That'd be good.
You never know. Ren might go evil.
She might. She just get some dark powers.
Goes the Willow route. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone loves Dark Willow.
Yeah. We love a good villain, says Eva Marie. Fantastic. And Selena, I hope I'm saying that correctly, on one of those. Do you ever find traveling hard while on a shoot?
Traveling is one of the things I absolutely adore, and also it drives me mad about filming and stuff, because I think thanks to acting and performing, I've seen some places that I would never see. People who scout out locations find the most incredible places. So yeah, it's always great fun. But the hard part is that when you're tired and you've got to travel, it doesn't really feel like relaxing or anything. You do still feel just even more tired by the end of it. So after a while of traveling and then filming and then traveling and filming, it by the end of it, you are quite tired, but my body seems to just power through things and then crash out at the end, which I don't know if that's healthy, but it seems to be able to do that. And then you have like a big crash at the end and you just like sleep for a day. But the traveling side of things, it's always the exciting part, but it's always the part that you forget about when you're working out, when you're going to get rest and stuff. You're like, oh, I forgot, I've got to get the train from there to there. And yeah, it's just, it's got good sides and bad sides.
Did you crash out after Ren wrapped?
Oh yeah, I had such a big crash after Ren, not just in my body, but like emotionally as well. I was really sad. I think I messaged Alex a few days after. I was like, I have the show blues. Like I feel low. Because yeah, you really get used to that being life, and I'd got used to putting the wig on, and then for a couple of days I was like, this is my hair. But yeah, it was a crash. I slept, I had lots of baths, and then but then I was ready to go again. You just need that one day, and then you'd be fine to go again.
Wow. Yeah, I needed more than one day.
You needed more than one?
I just found for 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, no matter how much I slept, I didn't seem to have any energy.
Neil, you did a lot though. You did a lot, and you're carrying the camera as well. You're doing like a physical
sometimes.
workout.
Try to get other people to carry it as much as possible, but yeah.
No, it's understandable though. Understandable. Because you put a lot into it as well. It's not just the physical stuff or the filming. It's you care about what you're doing so much, and then yeah, it does take it out of you a bit because it's so important to you.
That's true. That's true. Obsessive creative.
Yeah, it's what we do.
Yanis the Ancient has joined us in the chat. Oriana villain role. Neil and Janos. Neil and Janos. Janos is one of our writing team. I know. Say that.
Villain role.
Amazing. Right. So what? Yeah, we've assuming Ren doesn't go dark in future seasons. What are you hoping? Where are you hoping Ren might go? Or what might she get up to in future seasons if it was up to you?
With no spoilers. So hard. I'd like Ren to find. I'd like Ren to find herself a little bit. I do think because she's so young, she does get pulled in different directions, and to find what she wants rather than sort of being told what's best for her or what she needs to do. That would be nice because she's had it hard even just up until the end of series 1. She's had it hard. Yeah, I definitely want her powers to grow, her to get find out everything she can do, I guess. And let me ask for Ren some new costumes. Some new costumes would be nice. I get, just so everyone knows, I get really muddy in season 2. I'm pretty disgusting by the end of it, I think. I think Ren would like some new clothes.
I think we can probably figure that out. Yeah. I know that Ash Finn is gunning pretty hard for that as well.
Oh yes,
Ash. Cool. What else are you up to at the moment? Just moving away from Ren for a minute. Do you want to tell us about any other projects you've got coming out or things you've been working on?
Yeah, we've got a few things coming up. 25th of November, there's going to be a premiere in Rich Mix, if anyone's ever been to that cinema in London. Premiere of a film called Midnight Perturbation, which is a horror film that I was in. Well, I guess technically I do play a kind of villain. But not to the extent of like Joker that I'd like, where you kind of sympathize with the villain. But yeah, it's a horror film, so it's a bit gruesome. But if anyone would like to see it, it is going to premiere on the 25th of November. Other than that, I don't start my sort of like next acting job until January. Okay. And I'll be playing Juliet in Romeo and Juliet and Lady Macbeth in Macbeth, and it's just like a UK tour, so that'll be really fun. And I don't have exactly where we'll be touring, but we will be touring from January to May, so there'll be loads of places. Loads.
Cool. Lots of lines to learn for that.
I know. Luckily, I already know Juliet. We did that last month, so
right.
Juliet is in there. I just need to learn Lady Macbeth, which didn't think would have as many lines as Juliet, but has more. And I realised that the other day when I was highlighting them.
Well, yeah, that's remembering Shakespearean dialogue, I'm always impressed by actors that can do that.
It's tricky. I think before I ever did Romeo and Juliet, I hadn't done any since back in drama school, so I was really rusty. I went into it really, really nervous, but everyone who I was working with was fantastic. So I was like learning from them as I went, and by the end of it, I felt quite confident with Shakespeare. It's weird. He's just insanely amazing. Like when you read it, I was just like, oh my god, how have they done this? And I found out something really interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this really well, but in Romeo and Juliet, you know how Romeo has the friar and Juliet has the nurse?
Okay.
The friar and the nurse have the exact same amount of lines throughout the whole piece. So it's like they're exactly the same to each of them. That's just insanely clever to even think of doing that. It's amazing. So yeah, I've found a new love for Shakespeare, which is cool, because I was a little bit scared of it before.
Yeah, I worked on an adaptation of Hamlet a couple of years ago, which isn't out yet, but yeah, that was quite something, cool. Getting into really analysing the text and breaking it down. Yeah, it's very impressive when you get into.
Is it a film version?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was one of those. It was a stage version that got shut down because of COVID, and then the producer financed it as a feature. So.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hamlet for a very long time. Be good to see.
Yeah, hopefully that's coming out soon. But yeah, independent film world, it's always a long time between filming and release. So yeah, remember that. Anyone out there who's going, when's season 2 coming out? Yeah, it does take time to get through post-production. But the good thing, at least about with Ren, is we don't have to worry about distribution deals and things, because we just put it out free on YouTube. So that happens nice and quickly. Yeah. Any other memories of the shoot you want to share with us?
Memories. Oh, I bet. Did Alex talk about his PowerPoint?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, the PowerPoint was one of my highlights. It was one of my highlights. My favorite part was the site. So Alex was trying to make a PowerPoint to name. Am I allowed to say it?
Yeah, Othon.
Yeah. Richards. Yeah.
Burn. Yeah.
Burn. Okay, cool. I was like, yeah, we're going with this. Yeah, he wanted to come up with a name for Richard's burn, Othon's burn, and we didn't like any of the names really. So we were like, we want a PowerPoint presentation, and he went home and made a PowerPoint presentation, and it was just incredible. It was incredible. I can't remember what name we settled on. Can you remember what the name was? I think it was like Pyro something.
It was something like that. It was like some sort of Greek or Latin type of word.
So that was a memory I'll definitely hold. It was a fond memory just of everyone gathering round in the makeup tent bit just to watch Alex deliver his presentation.
Yeah, that was a good lunch break. Hello to Aki Stig in the chat, one of our stunt team, asking, is there going to be a BTS documentary for season 2? We did that long documentary, 5 months in Caxton, for season 1. I don't know whether we'll do anything quite like that this season, but obviously we are putting out our monthly YouTube videos, different aspects behind the scenes every time. The last one actually was all about Oriana and Alex. That's the best one, of course, so far. The next one is going to be all about the costumes, and then actually after that we've got a part 2 of Ori and Alex, because there was so much great stuff that they said. So there's another one of those coming up. So we'll always be putting out behind the scenes content. If you want to go even more in depth, anyone watching, join our Patreon, of course. Talk a bit more about that in a sec. But yeah, we put exclusive videos out on there as well. Hopefully anyone keen to go behind the scenes, there'll be plenty of content out there for you. Cool. I think that about wraps up everything I had to ask you, Ori.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Yeah, well, I expect the next time I see you will be probably premiering the show. All being well.
Premiere!
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah. For anyone watching, I can't give you a date yet, but it's going to be early next year. And who knows, maybe on the next episode of Mouth of Truth, I'll have a bit of news on that subject. We'll see.
Exciting.
Cool. But Ori, thanks so much for joining us. Take care and see you soon.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye. That was Oriana Charles, who, of course, plays the lead role of Ren in season 2 of Ren the Girl with the Mark. And we are going to wrap up pretty soon, but as usual, just want to say a little bit about Patreon, which is how we fund Ren the Girl with the Mark. We are completely crowdfunded. The show is made by volunteers and we rely on our fans to support us. And I know a lot of you guys already do. Please share the word wherever you can. It always helps to get it out to new people. Some recent Patreon benefits that we have published are a travel guide to Alathea, a guide to Ren's makeup for anyone who wants to cosplay that. We had an exclusive video from the dubbing session that we talked a little bit about with Ori earlier. And we even had early access to the interviews with Alex and Oriana, and in fact a longer unedited cut of those interviews went out to the Patreon backers as well. So that's an example of that behind the scenes content you can get as a marked one, a member of our Patreon community, which you can join at patreon.com/Ren the Girl with the Mark. Some of the upcoming benefits are The Tale of Tarek the Miller, a short story from the world of Ren, exclusive images showing how we made a fake deer. That's right, a fake deer. And if you're at the master level, which is the top one of our tiers for Patreon backers, you can actually get to read the script for episode 4 of season 2 this month. We've been gradually releasing the season 2 scripts over the course of this year to our master level Patreons. So if you love spoilers, if you want to know exactly what happens before it does, the master level is for you, and the 204 script is out this month on that level. Remember, you can join for free as well. It's not just about the paid tiers, and you will get the updates and you will still get to be involved and see the sort of stuff that we are posting. Thanks everyone for joining us, for watching the stream. Thanks to everyone who's joined us in the chat for those great questions. We will see you next time. As ever, the Mouth of Truth is on the second Thursday of the month, so that will be the 14th of December. And as it's the Christmas edition, maybe we'll do something a little bit different. Few ideas kicking around about how we might do something a little bit fun and different for the Christmas episode. We will let you know about that, but put December the 14th at 8 p.m. GMT in your diary for the next episode of The Mouth of Truth. Follow us on social media. Instagram and Facebook are the main ones, and of course here on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed, that you've clicked the notification bell, and look out for our shorts that we post a couple of times a week, for our community posts that go out a couple of times a week, and of course our main videos go out on the last Saturday of each month, alongside Mouth of Truth on the second Thursday of the month. Thanks everyone. I've been Neil Oseman. Goodbye from the Mouth of Truth.